music, R&B, hip hop, pop,
I still get you.
reggae, EDM, indie, old school,
Side. Check it.
and sports talk.
Right here.
WorldStarHitRadio.com.
Welcome to the Connecting Atlanta radio show, aired right here on the #1 online radio hit station, World Star Hit Radio. And I have an amazing, beautiful woman that I love as a friend, a business associate.
Oh, that's it?
Hey, look, we in Atlanta now.
We're in Atlanta.
All right, Kyion Williams, who's one of the co-founders of Social Georgia. So this whole movement was just started in August. So Kyion, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And can you share a little bit about what brought you to thinking about Social Georgia and starting this movement in August?
Well, I'll say this. It started at 14 years old.
Okay.
My mom, when I got the age where you could actually work in Iowa, she said, so the idea from Social Georgia really started when I was 14. My mom told me you can't work, but you can volunteer. And so that kind of just started that seed being planted about really giving back to your community. And I remember I volunteered at Trinity Hospital, and all the people that were there were so appreciative of taking my time at 14 to come and direct them and to come and speak to the elders. And I used to read and helping them with structuring different departments. I was just always available, and I just remember how it felt, someone, that they couldn't give back to. And so that's kind of how the seed was planted within me itself. And then around July of this year, Corey King, Networking King, Moore, came to me and said, hey, I really want to do something with nonprofits, and I know how much you love nonprofits, so let's create this event. And it honestly started out as just an event, but quickly, as you know, has turned into a movement.
Yeah. So one of the things that he was saying that took it from an event to raising money for nonprofits to a movement was your 12 Days of Kindness.
Yes.
Right?
12 Days of Kindness.
What would happen if everyone performed one act of kindness each day for 12 days? Today was, I love you.
I love you, Derek. I love you all. I love you so much.
So tell us a bit about what brought you to that.
Well, that started a couple years ago. Actually, I had someone perform an act of kindness to me, and I remember how it made me feel. And so about 3 years ago, I did like this 21-day thing with my friends, and everyone who did it said, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Thank you so much for creating this. So when we started doing the fundraiser, I just felt like it wasn't enough. I felt like it was only going to be highlighting people for one day. And so I kind of said, well, Corey, what if we do like some acts of kindness? And I was like, maybe we do 12 days of kindness. And he was like, now that's where it's at. That's what we have to do. And so that's how it kind of evolved. And as we talked to committee members, everyone was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's bring some kindness, because there's so many people that forget that they matter and forget to tell other people that they matter. So
there was one day that you guys did a kindness, and this was at one of the grocery stores.
Yeah. And
you were wanting to give back to the managers there.
Right.
And share a little bit about that and how receptive they were at first.
Yeah. So we did Kroger's because they're a neighborhood grocery store. And they said, we came in there, we looked for the manager, we said, hey, can we speak to the manager? And they said, well, what's wrong? And we said, nothing's wrong. And they said, well, why do you want to speak to the manager? And so the manager refused to come because there was nothing wrong. She was like, well, if there's nothing wrong, you don't need me. And so we said, yeah, we're trying to talk. So we literally took a couple minutes of battling back and forth. And finally, we just went to her. And once we thanked her, we said, we're here to bring an act of kindness to thank you for all you do. And we gave her a card. She was like, oh my God. And then she gave us a hug. She was like, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. She's like, I was scared. I didn't know what you were trying to do. So it was that fear of like, if there's nothing wrong, which is a normalcy, if nothing's wrong, why do you want to talk to me? So
imagine if we do go out after the 12 Days of Kindness and Georgia Gives Day and so forth, that on November 12th, that we'll be celebrating here in Atlanta at 200 Peachtree. And so what happens if after that, we just continue to do nice things for individuals. So I think that's fantastic. There's a lady that works the self-checkout at Kroger, and I've done some nice things for her birthday or for Mother's Day or whatever, and just given her a card with like $20 in it or something like that. And it really lifted her up and like put a smile on her face, and you could see the difference. And so I tell her I love her all the time, and you know, it's just you create that camaraderie and with your neighborhood persons, and it really changes your whole shopping experience and for everybody involved. So so I think that's awesome. So tell us a little bit about, so you have Social Georgia, which you're the co-founder of, is your nonprofit Love.
Yes.
And so tell us a bit about what you do full time.
Okay.
For profit.
Yes. So, well, Social Georgia is for profit. No, I'm joking. But no, Social America is my company, and it's a business lifestyle advisory firm. The best way to put it is we help businesses increase their revenue and or decrease their costs. So it's similar to how you go to the doctor and you go get checked up to see if something's wrong with you. We check up businesses to see if they're viable.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've been doing that since 2009. I've done everything from owning my own licensed franchise to advising corporations to advising small businesses and startups, and I really, really love it. And that's kind of how also Social Georgia evolved, because it's all about sustainability. You can always go out one day and make a success, but the 12 days of kindness and how we interject what we do in businesses, it has to be sustainable. And so it has to be more than just one day, one fundraiser. It has to be more than just that.
Right. And one of the other great things, I felt like, obviously God knew what he was doing when he paired you and Corey together. Because Corey is a powerhouse when it comes to putting networking events together and getting sponsors to come in and so forth. And I'm surprised that we haven't had more. We've had a lot of press and people, you know, reaching out to you guys and so forth. But I just know that next year it's gonna be that 100 times.
Oh yeah.
Plus you are gonna have you're gonna have sponsors breaking down your doors to be able to give you money to these nonprofits.
Oh yeah, we definitely have been getting contacted by corporations. They're watching us. A lot of people are watching us. We didn't realize how many were watching us until we started getting some phone calls from some people and already getting us in their databases to be registered with them so that they can technically give for next year. And it's amazing how in 90 days we've been able to do this. I mean, everything, we had to literally build the idea and build a team and build the events. And so, you've
done that in 90 days.
Oh yeah.
That says something to both your and Corey's leadership, as well as to be able to bring 70 volunteers together.
Yeah.
People to donate their time, do it all for free.
Yeah.
Donate Saturdays.
Yeah.
Tuesday nights.
We thank you for donating Saturdays.
So
it's a lot.
So it is a lot. It's a lot. It's I work currently a full-time job, and then my radio show, my business, and then the Social Georgia. But once you make a commitment to something, you have to follow through with it and make sure.
Yeah, well, we would like that. And I think too, it's been, yes, I think Corey and I have good leadership, but I think it's been also the people that it's attractive, because there's so many relationships that are forming. I'll tell a really quick story. Yes, on Sunday we went out and we picked up trash, and it was pouring down rain.
Yes, and you had the biggest bag filled. Did you see my
And I said, Corey called me, he said, are we still going out? And I said, yes.
He already knew the answer to that.
He did. He said he had to try. But there was two ladies who came out who are in two different committees. One is in marketing, one is in nonprofit. Anyways, after we got done, we ended up going to Krispy Kreme because Corey's birthday was Friday, and we went to go buy him some donuts. They were chatting, and they started talking and said, hey, where do you live? Within 2 minutes, they realized they lived in the same subdivision for 11 years and never knew each other.
Wow.
So it was through Social Georgia that they connected.
Yeah.
And so it was like, they were just like, oh my gosh, like this is crazy that we had to join this organization to meet each other, and we live literally around the corner.
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's things like that that make, I think, why people do it, because everyone wants to give, but they want to be connected with other people that give. And our whole motto is that together we build, and that everyone has an abundance. And I think that the 70 people who've become involved with this realize that they have an abundance in an area that they can share.
Right. And that's the other thing is like you guys have really tapped into people's talents, and they've also tapped into their own talents, and we've all been stretched and grown and put out of our comfort zones. So, but I think that's awesome. So, some of the things with Social Georgia as well is even though we're building up to the day of November 12th, that is not where it ends by any means. So if people want to give after November 12th to put into the fund for these nonprofits, you definitely have that capability to do so.
Oh yeah, you definitely can continue to give. This is more of our celebration of our first kickoff. Kind of think of like a grand opening.
Yeah.
But we have so much in store for 2016. We're already in negotiations with space so we can host monthly workshops. Our site will convert over again. So it'll be focused on the service provider so people can connect with the people who have services for them. Because the other thing that nonprofits tell us is that they want to know who to connect with. Right. I have a website I want to get built, but I need someone who understands that nonprofit world and wants to work with me and has nonprofit rates. So it's more than just November 12th. That's just a kickoff. And we've already been approached by 2 different cities to bring this to their city.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So now one of the other things that Social Georgia is going to be doing after November 12th is that in addition to the workshops, is that for the nonprofits, for all the nonprofits that are 501c3 certified, that will be getting the funds, some of the things that we're going to be doing for them as well is helping them to develop their financial plans, helping them to understand that they truly are a business. And to how to grow. So on top of that love and that passion that they have, but how to take their businesses and their nonprofits to the next level.
Oh yeah, that's a huge thing. One of the things we're going to be doing in 2016 is matchmaking. Okay. So helping to also match nonprofits with for-profits and create partnerships.
That's awesome.
Because there's so many grant opportunities. There's so many contracts from the government opportunities that they have. There's even opportunities within schools with some of these colleges that need to actually attach themselves to a 501c3. Right. And they don't even have a clue that these opportunities are out there. So they're saying, I need money, but there's a whole pot of money that's waiting on them.
Right. That's awesome. And then for the nonprofits that don't have the 501c3 status, I think one of the great things is to give people a comfortability to say, okay, well, we can still make a difference in these nonprofits that are getting started and wanting to like get through that process, is that we're still have the opportunity to raise money for them, but the money doesn't go back to them directly. No. It goes into services to help stabilize them and get their 501c3 status and get their websites built and get all that. So I think that's fantastic. So that's awesome.
Yeah, because there's a lot of things also too from the donor side. They don't know who to give to. They don't understand when someone says they're a nonprofit, they assume that they're a 501c3. But honestly, that's not the case in a lot of instances, and so they can't get a tax deduction. Right. So the great thing about it is that people can donate to Social Georgia, and we can help them with their fund. So making sure they have their structure. One of the requirements for all of our virtual nonprofits, the ones that don't have it, is that they have to stop what they're doing and get their structure in order. And so they're utilizing this platform, and it's kind of like a scholarship from us. If you go out and you push it, we're going to then give you money and pay the services to make sure that you can have that sustainable structure and model. So I'm really excited about that because that also protects the donor base. Because we had a private donor that came in last week, and what they loved about us was that they can give to us, and we're going to report back out to them what's going on. And they know that their money is going much further because it's being able to be stretched. So that's a real huge benefit of people investing in Social Georgia.
So that was one of the other things I was going to say is that so during the year we're going to tap into our videographers and photographers and so forth that are going to actually go out to these nonprofits and video record the differences they are making in the communities and showing what they're doing, because a lot of times even with some of the larger nonprofits like Susan J. Corman and American Cancer Society and all those, is that you don't ever, you hear about them on fundraising time, but you don't ever get updates or videos, or they're spending a lot of time on marketing and letting you know the differences they're making. So sometimes with it's like, okay, you're making a difference in cancer, but really, why is it getting worse? So what are you really doing?
Right.
You know? So it's like, I could keep giving you money, but I'd rather personally give it to Social Georgia, because at least in the local communities and stuff like that, I know that we're making a difference.
Yeah.
You know?
That's a huge thing, is people want to know where their money is going, and we believe in telling stories. The thing about Social Georgia is we're telling a story, right? We're telling a story of the nonprofits for them, because they don't know how to do it.
Right.
Because also the other thing with the fundraiser, one of the big things, reason why we started with the fundraisers, because that's one of the biggest things that is a pitfall for nonprofits. They don't know how to do it the right way, but also they don't have the resources to do it. Most of them all have said, I could have never done an event at 200 Peachtree. In this beautiful facility, I would have never been able to afford this. But through Social Georgia, they're able to do that. So it's also making some of their dreams come true as well, to be able to have this platform, to be able to invite their donors out and say, hey, look at us, look at what we're doing. But the big thing, too, is that they need help on all different facets, you know, from the teaching how to keep following up with their donors with information and telling them a story, and not always asking for money.
Right.
What are you offering your donors? Is there a product? Is there a service? Is there some kind of movement that you can create that they can feel a part of, where you're tapping into their heartstrings? And I tell people all the time, is the difference between Social Georgia and a typical nonprofit is that we weren't created by our heart, we were created by our head. We had to create ourselves to be a 501c3 to do the work and to actually be effective and efficient in what we do. So it's a big difference.
Yeah, because when people can tap into their hearts, then it can move into a movement, and they want to be able to feel attached to something. So like all the committee members and the volunteers and stuff like that, we all feel attached to Social Georgia. We all feel we're a part of the growth of it, and you guys have done a great job at letting everybody know that it's really for all of us. It's not just for you guys. You know what I'm saying?
That's why it says I am Social
Georgia, and together we build.
Exactly.
Together, not separate, not individual, and so I think that's awesome. So if someone wanted to be able to purchase tickets, or if they wanted to get some more information about how to be a part of Social Georgia for the rest of 2015 and 2016, how would they do that?
They can go online and go to socialgeorgia.org. They can go on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter and look us up by our handle, Social Georgia. I'm not going to give out my personal phone number because people will actually call you. I'm joking.
Yeah.
We definitely, we want more people. We had someone email us. We were on Fox 5 yesterday, and someone emailed says, there's too late. And I said, there's never too late. You can get involved the day of. Because it doesn't matter what part you come in on, whatever you can do. Again, everyone has an abundance of something. And I'll use real quickly, on Sunday when we first kicked off on November 1st, we had an opportunity. You probably remember Godfrey. He was one of the gentlemen from the homeless community. Yeah, the day before I had went down there to record my video for us to have the videos being put out. And so I said, usually when you bring your car and they already assume you got food or something, I said, hey, we're coming back tomorrow, but I just need people not to crowd me. He said, oh, no worries, I got you. So he goes over there and he keeps them away. He said, okay, go ahead and do what you gotta do. And I said, okay. And he said, when you come back tomorrow, can you bring me some shoes, because my shoes are falling apart.
Oh, that's why you asked for the shoes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I said, yeah, I can bring you some shoes. I said, I could definitely do that. So when we came back the next day, he came over and gave him his shoes. We were doing a video together, and I said, thank you so much for sharing your abundance with me. He said, I don't have anything to share with you. I said, yeah, you do. You shared your influence with me yesterday. I said, because of you, I was able to record my video, which was able to get all these people out here today. And he gave me a hug, and he said, thank you for allowing me to remember that I have something.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And I
gave me chills, girl.
Yeah, because I think sometimes we equate something with money.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why I wanted Social Georgia to be about time and expertise, is because you don't have to write a check to give. This is a whole company. We have a real infrastructure, as you know. Everyone has a Social Georgia email address. We have processes and procedures in place. Just because people who have those talents and gifts have brought that abundance to us. We wouldn't have been able to do this in 90 days without everybody giving their abundance.
Right. That's awesome. That's awesome. So, just in regards to, sorry, someone was knocking on the door, distracted me.
No worries.
This is what I was going to say. There was a nonprofit that, I don't even know who they are, so they can stay nameless, whatever. And they had decided to back out at the last minute.
Yes.
So then there was a company that came in and wanted to donate to them. Obviously, they were doing it through the Social Georgia movement, and I'm sure they still gave to Social Georgia. But that specific nonprofit missed out because they lost sight of the vision. So I think that's important in anything in life, is that if you first grab onto something that's going to be huge like this, and I'm sure someone discouraged them or someone, whatever the issue was, but they lost sight of the vision, they lost sight of what it was all about, and the fact that so tell us a little bit about that. Like, did you
they will definitely stay nameless, but they called and they just said, we don't think we have the resources to do it, and we don't know if we have the time to do it. It was all these different things that they didn't think they had, and they just kind of were having cold feet about it. And this was before all the media started really pumping up. And so I just, I had spoke to Corey and I said, hey, if they want to pull out, that's fine. I said, but that's unfortunate because I was calling him to let him know I had a private donor that wanted to give to them through Social Georgia. And he said, we went back and forth of how we're going to handle it. And I said, they're just going to miss out. And I went back to the donor and let them know that, hey, this is what happened. And they said, well, we're still going to give. But now we'll just give it and let it be spread out. So for that nonprofit, I won't even tell you the amount that they missed out on, but let's just say it would have been a huge impact.
Wow. Yep. So that's unfortunate.
Yeah. And for us, it was a thing too, also for us to put some process and procedures in place because it affects the other nonprofits as well when one pulls out. But we always say whoever's supposed to be there is going to be there. And I'm sure they're a little regretful now of it from all the coverage that we're starting to get. But we're excited about the other 21 that we have that see the vision. And we actually have a list of people who've already started emailing us about signing up for 2016 because they missed it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We're going to take a quick 5-minute break, and I'll come right back to Connecting Atlanta Radio.
Perfect.
Welcome back to Connecting Atlanta Radio. We still have Kyion Williams, who's one of the partners of Social Georgia, with us. So we've gotten everything else out of the way, the love, all that stuff. So tell us a little bit about the day of the event, like what's going to happen. And you'd mentioned something about a fire breather. Tell me how that happened.
Well, we're actually going to just sit in a circle and sing Kumbaya.
No, we're not going to do that.
No, we're really excited about the day of the event. So it's broken up into 2 parts. We have 10 to 4, which is really focused on workshops, which Jacqueline will be doing one. We're going to have workshops during the day for nonprofits as well as community members and business owners to learn how we all can come together. So there's ones, again, talking about things like how to create your 501c3, how to get a grant, how to market your business to your clients, because your donors are your clients, how to keep them satisfied, everything to how to use music to raise money. So really excited about the 10 to 4, as well as there'll be some networking going on for some of our service providers to be able to network with the nonprofits. And then 5 o'clock is the turn up.
Hey, that's when the dresses and the heels come on.
Yes, we're going to turn it up. We're really excited about it. We have entertainers. We have everything from bands to performances. We have fire breathers. We're really excited about that.
How did you get the fire breather?
Yeah, so actually one of our committee members, Danella, who's our event chair, she just wanted some fire breathers. She's like, I just want to have fire breathers. She's like, can we have that? And I'm like, I think so. Let me check. And I went to the venue and they were like, this is an interesting request. Sure. And so we were like, okay. She just really was like relentless about, I'm going to have fire breathers. And so like 11 o'clock at night, she like finally got the confirmation and called like, we have a fire breather. Like he's going to eat fire at the event. I'm like, this is exciting.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting.
You don't usually have those at nonprofit events. The other big thing that we're super excited about is casino experience.
Yeah, legalized gambling.
Oh yeah, legalized gambling. And we
in conservative Georgia.
In conservative Georgia, exactly. Like, there was something on news the other day about casinos in Georgia, and I was like, oh, we're bringing one. So we're really excited about the casino experience. There's going to be a silent auction. We're going to have food and, of course, alcohol.
Alcohol at night.
The most important thing to have.
Yep. Designated drivers. I'm just going to throw that out there. Uber, the train. It's right next to the MARTA.
Yep.
And all that. So that's exciting. Kyion, I just want to say thank you so much for coming on to the show today. It's definitely a pleasure. I appreciate it. And, I know big things are happening for Social Georgia. You're making a huge positive impact in the community. One of my customers had and acquaintances had hit me up on Facebook and said he loves following my posts to see all the things I'm doing in the community. Yeah. And I was like, well, lately it's all just been about Social Georgia, but I mean, it's great because that helps everybody that's involved.
Right, absolutely.
To help them look good too, you know?
Oh yeah. One of our members was on the call tonight. I got on the call a little bit before I came in. They were like, yeah, I got an email from somebody saying, like, I see you on Fox 5. So it's helping everybody. Like, I see you. Social Georgia, that's you, right? You know, that's why we had everyone change their profile picture to Social Georgia because it doesn't have a face. It's everyone.
It's everyone.
Yeah.
Together
we build.
So if you haven't gotten your tickets yet, go to socialgeorgia.org. If it's after November 12th that you see this recording, then please go and donate anyways. And you'll be able to see the nonprofits that are involved. And that will be on there until November 12th of 2016.
Yes.
So thank you so much, Kyion, for coming on today. It's been an absolute pleasure. And we look forward to Thursday.
Thank you so much.
Okay, bye-bye.
The hottest music, R&B, hip hop, pop,
I still get you.
reggae, EDM, indie, old school,
Side, check it.
and sports talk.
Right here.
WorldStarHitRadio.com.